Approaching a potential sponsor for your podcast can be a great way to monetize your content and get your message out to a wider audience. Here are some tips for how to approach a potential sponsor. Research the company. Before reaching out to a potential sponsor, it's important to do your homework and understand what the company does and what their values are. This will help you tailor your pitch and show that you have a genuine interest in working with them. Make a clear and concise pitch. When reaching out to a potential sponsor, be sure to clearly explain what your podcast is about and why it would be a good fit for their company. Provide statistics about your audience and any other relevant information that could help persuade them to sponsor your podcast. Offer value. In addition to explaining how your podcast can help promote the sponsor's products or services, it's also important to offer value to the sponsor in other ways. For example, you could offer to do a segment on your podcast specifically about the sponsor's products, or provide them with access to your audience through social media or other channels. Be realistic. It's important to be realistic about the size of your audience and the value you can provide to a potential sponsor. Don't oversell yourself or your podcast, as this can come across as desperate or unrealistic. Build a relationship. Sponsorship is all about building a relationship, so try to establish a connection with the sponsor before asking for their support. This could involve following them on social media, engaging with their content, or reaching out to them to introduce yourself and your podcast. Be persistent, but not pushy. It's okay to follow up with a potential sponsor if you don't hear back from them, but be mindful of not being too pushy. Keep in mind that they may be busy or have other priorities, and respect their decision if they decide not to sponsor your podcast. Consider alternative sponsors. If you're having trouble finding a sponsor, consider alternative options such as crowdfunding or selling merchandise. This can help you generate revenue and get your message out to your audience. Overall, the key to approaching a potential sponsor is to be professional, articulate, and enthusiastic about your podcast and how it can benefit the sponsor.